What is up, guys? I am going to be installing a Unleashed Customs steering wheel in the Supra. I'm going to show you how, guys, to remove the airbag. I actually needed some help from some friends from BMW because it was kicking my ass. Shout out to Jeff for helping me out with that. And I'll tell you what tools you need and do the whole process. Oh, make sure you do disconnect the battery. That way you don't have to worry about any fault codes with the key on, and then have to worry about trying to find someone that can clear airbag codes, or having to go to the dealer and spend a $150 diagnostic fee. So to avoid that, make sure you disconnect the battery. Alright, so the problem that I was having is, first things to remove the airbag. So on the side of the steering wheel, factory steering wheel, you have two guides. Use a T10 Torx, and you have to break through the steering wheel. There's two ports there to be able to press on the airbag itself. So back here you have two retaining tabs, which you have to do the left side first. When you push through, you gotta push pretty hard, and then you gotta come around to the passenger side and push this, so that way you can release all of the tabs, which that was a pain in the ass. And inside the car you have a 16mm nut, actually a bolt, which is right here, and you have two connectors. Comes right off. You could use a small pick, and that comes right out. So I'm going to pull the steering wheel off, and then we're going to transfer everything over to the new steering wheel and wire it up. Alright, so now we're going to remove the paddles so we can get access to all the controls and yank all this out. So you have two T20 screws. One is right here, and you got one right here on the right side. One left and one right. Alright, once you got those two screws out, you have the two connectors for the paddles. We're just going to push these out a little bit, pop these out. Go. Get a smaller pick. Alright, so now since I got both my connectors off, just take a little, just want to be gentle, get those off, flip it around. You got two more Torx back here. You got two more, I believe those are T25, and these are going to come out to remove the front face. Alright, so removing this, once you got the screws out of the back of it, you have a couple tabs you have to press on to release. You have two right here and two on the upside. Just take your little trim tool and just kind of wedge on the side of it and press down, and it comes right out. Once you get that out, you have your lower trim piece that sits right here. This, you have just two other locking tabs. You can just slightly pry it on the inside right here, the flathead, and pull forward, and that comes out right as well. So pretty much got everything out. We just have a small module right here, and remove all the wiring, and we're pretty much done with this wheel. It's pretty almost stripped. And also just remove the airbag brackets to snap the airbag in, which is 3 Torx T20. So I'm gonna take the rest of this out, and we'll swap over to the new steering wheel. Alright, then the last piece is these. Once you unscrew it, just take a flathead, and it comes right up. Where it's going. There we go. That's the last one. So we got a bare steering wheel now. There's nothing left. Actually, we just gotta push the screws out on the back side and grab the new wheel. Alright, I'm gonna put everything back over here. Just pretty much the same thing, just as it's assembly, it's reassembly, so I'm not really sure you guys all that. It's same steps. Actually, one thing I did notice is when you reinstall the airbag clips with the bolt, it's kind of hard to press in there by hand. So you can set it straight, start the screw, make sure you don't cross thread it, and you can actually set it down with the screw and it falls right in place. Alright guys, so you come down here, there's a panel here, there's two locking tabs right here, and this pops down and you just connect your little tweeter, little flathead comes right out, and then you have your OBD port. There's one little tab right in the middle you have to pry with a screwdriver. It comes right down, and you can plug in the port for the Bluetooth for the steering wheel. And then we have everything here. Right now currently it is calibrating. We had to put the ground wire onto the ground port on the screw that goes down here, and then the blue wire there's no need to use. We're just gonna tuck this to the side, and then the red wire, found that the green wire is constant 12-volt power there, and the connector that it came with, it had a small tap. Let's see where it's at. The tap wasn't working correctly, and it kept coming on and off, so I just pulled back the wiring and connected it direct hardwire. I'm going to put a piece of solder right there and tape that up. That way, if you still need to remove the steering wheel for any reason, you can still get access, and you don't have to worry about anything in the way, and it'll be a nice secure wire. That way you're tracking it or whatever, it will never come loose. So that's the best way I decide to do it. Other than that, all I have to do is just put the airbag back on. So I'm going to put the airbag back on, let it finish calibrating, and then we'll see how everything works. Also, I forgot to mention which wire I used for power. And on American cars and the 2020 Supra, the US model, the green wire, it's a green with a yellow stripe, is your main source for 12-volt constant 12-volt power. The other ones are 9 volts and 11, and you want to have a 12-volt power. So you can use a T-tap, or you can just splice the wire and solder the wire to the way I did it. That way I know that I never have to worry about the wires coming apart, because I didn't really like the T-tap and it felt kind of janky. So just, if you want, do it my way and you'll never have an issue. Alright guys, so the steering wheel is installed. I have all the lights set up. Everything works how it should. You have all your different settings, from RPM to temperature to boost to fuel, battery voltage. You have everything on here. So that is the final setup. Everything's nice and clean. I tucked everything back, and that's about it. So if you liked this video, if you thought it was any helpful, like and subscribe, and I will post more.